I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms, ready to be covered in scars, 'cause I will always be a warrior. Late nights, get lost, hard work, the cost. Can't quit, can't stop, this world all cut off. Don't have time to waste, not now. Need to find a way to get out, 'cause I'm gone in deep. Get lost in the weeds. You know it's all about the conquest. What's next? You gotta put the work in like you're obsessed. Think about what you want, what's your future? What kind of person would it take to seduce her? So what's next? Be obsessed with winning and your success. Make progress, this life is never promised. So feel blessed, live life, don't be too cautious. Trust the process. In too deep, I'll never quit. I wanna see this through. Yeah, I'm all in, and I will hold my head up high. Got what it takes to fight and survive. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms, ready to be covered in scars, 'cause I will always be a warrior.
Did you miss me? I guess not!
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punks?
A year ago this week, standing here with many of you, I instructed the Attorney General to write a regulation that would rein in the proliferation of ghost guns because I was having trouble getting things passed in the Congress. A year later, we're here to keep that promise.
If you haven't heard, new gun control just dropped. So yesterday, Joe Biden took to the stage in front of the White House and talked about both his new firearm policies that he's going to be pursuing regarding ghost guns, among other things, and also his new nominee for the head of the ATF. And once again, he was allergic to remembering the name of the organization that he was nominating the new leader of.
In support of the dedicated men and women of the AFT, I'm proud to nominate Steve Diddleback. He works side by side to support the work of federal, state, and local law enforcement, including AFT agents. I'd like to introduce my nominee to lead the AFT to you.
Now, I know what some of you were saying. Brandon, I hate it when you get political. Dude, me too. I hate getting political. I was going to enjoy making a new range video for you guys out in the beautiful Texas sunshine, but here we both are. Their fault, not mine. So anyhow, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what exactly was said, what this means, and just generally pointing out how fucking stupid it is. Well, the primary focus was the ghost guns, or privately made firearms, as they're now calling them PMFs. Primarily banning the business of manufacturing unserialized buy-build shoot kits. This is like buying a Palmer 80, like an 80% frame or something like that, along with all the other parts to build it once you turn that into a firearm. Which currently under the law, as long as you're not a felon, is completely legal.
The United States Department of Justice is making it illegal for a business to manufacture one of these kits without a serial number.
Apparently going forward, these will now be treated like firearms under the Gun Control Act. And to, make and sell them, you've got to have an FFL, a federal firearms license, and be manufacturing them just like you are any other firearm with a serial number and everything, which means the person that you sell it to has to have a background check and a 4473. A 4473 is the form you have to fill out whenever you buy a gun store that has information on it, and they do a NICS background check, NICS. But you could just walk into a gun store and buy a gun without a background check yet. No, you can't. You haven't been able to do that since the 90s. Stop fucking saying that. If you're local gun store gets caught allowing people to buy guns with 4473, they're going to lose their license and possibly go to jail. Now here's some important context. It is legal, and has always been legal, for law-abiding Americans to make and shoot their own guns that they build for themselves. Nowadays, of course, you need an FFL if you're going to be making your own guns for the purpose of selling to other people. But otherwise, if you're using it for your own purposes, there's no laws saying that you can't have your own personally made firearm. As long as you're not making sawn-off shotguns or something that violates the NFA. Ask Randy Weaver how they treat that one. So if this is legal and has always been legal, why is the ATF going after these ghost gats now? So when they say that ghost guns are showing up in more crimes than ever before, that doesn't necessarily mean anymore that they're talking about like an AR lower that was an 80% or like a Polymer 80 Glock or something. They're also now including guns that were picked up off the street that have defaced serial numbers, have the serial number scratched off. For the record, that's been illegal since the Gun Control Act of 1968. The serial number. Weird, it's like if you expand the category of ghost gun to include something that's already a crime, like, I don't know, defacing a serial number, for instance, then ghost guns start showing up in more crimes. Do you follow? It's like when they say, since we made pot legal here in our state, illegal drug use has gone down.
Diplomatic community.
It's just been revoked.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock, because you found the biggest chunk of illegal drug use and you legalized it. Therefore, cutting out the illegal drug use. They're still smoking pot, which I don't give a fuck about. I'm pretty libertarian about most things. I think I'm pretty consistent. Do whatever the fuck you want as long as you're not diddling kids like politicians do. Anyway, before I'm found hanging from my ceiling fan, my point is they're using this same kind of logic and manipulation of data to try to make the ghost gun epidemic seem worse than it actually is. And no, I don't think homemade firearms should be regulated as common sense gun control. First of all, I don't believe any gun control is common sense. All gun laws are an infringement.
I like the way you die, boy.
Applesauce, bitch.
Always have been. Now, that's probably going to trigger a lot of non-Americans, at least, and that's fine. I respect your ability to, govern your country the way you see fit. I just want the same respect in return for wanting to hold on to whatever freedoms we have left in a country that was founded on the idea of dangerous freedom. But none of that is my point. My point is, it's not going to work anyhow. You know how most criminals get their hands on guns?
I knew you going soft. Dinner's gonna be cold tonight, asshole.
Next time you have a chance to kill someone, don't hesitate.
Thanks for the advice.
Wipe yourself off, man. You dead.
Either just straight up from a gun store because they might have a clean criminal record, and no background check is going to change anything about that because there's nothing to find if they've got a clean record. Illegal black markets, or they just fucking steal them. And since we're being all good and formal, I've got some data for that. According to a DOJ report on criminal weapons, an estimated 287,400 prisoners had possessed a firearm during their offense. Among these, more than half, 56%, had either stolen it, found it at the scene of the crime, or obtained it off the street or from an underground market. So it's not like even if this wasn't an infringement, which it is, it's not like this is cutting off a major source for guns used by criminals. Let's be honest with ourselves here, the average thug holding up a 7-Eleven for $82 in cash isn't exactly smart enough to be 3D printing his own guns, and he's sure as shit not going to a garage and drilling or milling out his own motors.
Anybody else want to negotiate?
Who the hell are you? I'm the sheriff.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
They're either buying a $200 high pizzle off the street, or they're just breaking into a truck that has an NRA sticker. By the way, don't put gun stickers on your cars and leave guns in them. You shouldn't have to say that, but come on, man.
Yeah! Stick around.
I think you got the point.
Our feature film. Your flight attendants are Susan and Lance, and I'm Vicky.
Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
Boy, y'all like to argue about this because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Because I've been a firearms dealer in a Class 3 FFL for a long time. And I don't know what I'm talking about because I said you can't change the parts on this and still be legal. And I got a whole bunch of comments, one from two goofballs named Airsoft Army. You got it. Okay. Look at ATF.gov and stop being so offensive. Y'all are obviously teenagers. Let me tell you something about this. The reason this is legal and why you can't change it is because the overall length of this to the ATF's new rule says it must be 26.5 inches long. Guess what happens when you replace that with a pistol grip? Oh shucks, when you put a pistol grip on there, the overall length of this firearm becomes 23.5 inches, making it illegal. So, either humble me and educate me, I like being educated, or tell me how making this less than 26.5 makes this illegal.
One of my friends sits this one out. He's just dead.
Alright, fall in behind the last man. I don't think you can drop us off, badass.
You're right, but I'll get an 8 for effort.
12-gauge pump, boys. We've only got 3 shots. You can't get us all.
And we know he can add and he can subtract, so what?
This center that can take your gun away without due process, and that's a violation of the Second Amendment. But it's also a violation of many other amendments, abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, and the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. They don't want you standing up. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the one that everybody will look to on this particular new center from the Department of Justice. Nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. In particular, with this new center where they can come into your house and take your guns without due process.
What's to be next here?
Got no head for heights.
Does anybody else want to drop out?
Dropping me!
It's not something you can live with.
I'm learning to live with a lot of things.
9 years of ballet, asshole!
Where's your butler friend?
Oh, he blew a fuse.
Sorry, Ted. You've been served.
Not allowed to own it anyway. I'm not taking that gun away at all. You need 100 rounds? No. I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that. It's a viral video like the other ones that put out that are simply a lie.
Well, he just clarified it.
Wait. Take the AR-14.
There's a lot of guys wanting to
I'm not worried.
You're pushing up on me.
Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Are you able to I said, are you able to That's right. Your AR-15's illegal. No, it's not. Yeah, you need 100 rounds. You need 100 rounds.
In America, hands are what you call assault rifles. Why are you advocating for assault rifles if you are trying by handguns?
Okay, let's go.
I represent my individual mind. Thank you. I represent me. I'm a fucking
But he answered your question, you kept on.
That's fine. You guys have your own point of view.
Yeah, well, that's right. You're wrong.
I'm telling you, you just have to kill me.
Okay. He won't be joining us for the rest of his life.
What happened? Where's Gosen?
Playing his golden harp.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
He always did have an inflated opinion of himself.
Silent but deadly.
I'm out. How many rounds you got?
Enough.
Now, Bon appetit.
God, what a terrible waste of money.
Not a good time to lose one's head.
Hey, Alfred.
You won't be attending that hat convention in July.
It's a busy day at Action Impact.
Actually, it's my second gun. Well, protection, you know, with all this madness going on out here, so that is safe and sorry.
As customers work to get protected, the owner of 2 Southeast Michigan gun shops is weighing in on President Joe Biden's efforts to reduce gun violence. It comes in the aftermath of several recent mass shootings.
But what I don't like is political rhetoric that is disguised as gun control.
The president working to put the brakes on ghost guns, guns that are self-assembled using parts purchased online.
It's ghost because you can't trace it.
That's because there's no serial number. But this shop owner, who is also an attorney and worked previously in law enforcement, says it won't happen at his 2 shops and is not a widespread problem in Michigan.
Now this one, the ones that we sell, have serial numbers on them already. So if you come and buy this from me and you make your own gun, like that, you already have a serial number on it.
Cusick believes efforts to restrict ghost guns is the start of something much bigger.
Starting with ghost guns, then leads to other controls, and that's what I think we don't need. Limiting our guns, limiting our magazine capacities. And the reason I have a problem with it is it's not going to stop anything.
The president also advocating to make it easier for people to flag family members who should not be allowed to purchase firearms. And the White House also promoting investments and what it calls community violence interventions to lower gun violence in cities.
What I do like is the money that are going to the cities to try and stop gun violence. We're all for that.
Some gun shop owners say if you really want to control gun violence, gun control is not the answer.
Maybe we need better education. Maybe we need better jobs and employment. Maybe we need all those things long before we need additional gun control. Your lip service for gun control, I almost feel like we're all being punished for having firearms or wanting to purchase them.
In Southfield, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Where's Drax?
He had to fly.
What happened?
He got the boot. You know, to beat my high score.
Hello? I've just shot somebody. I did it on purpose.
Now we got a relationship we can build on.
All those feathers and he still can't fly. Revenge is a meal best served cold. Flawless victory.
You wouldn't kill me. You'd miss me.
I never miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Where's Peckish? Pyramids! What a helpful chap.
When I say you should screw yourself, I didn't mean for you to take it literally. Walk away from that, you son of a bitch. They'll print anything these days.
You just shot an unarmed man.
He should have harmed himself.
California Senator Kamala Harris says if she becomes president, she will take what her campaign calls executive action to combat gun violence. She made those comments during a CNN town hall Monday night. Here's some of what she said.
Upon being elected, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to get their act together and have the courage to pass reasonable gun safety laws. And if they fail to do it, then I will take executive action. And specifically what I will do is put in place a requirement that for anyone who sells more than 5 guns a year, they are required to do background checks when they sell those guns. I will require that for any gun dealer that breaks the law, the ATF take their license. And by the way, ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Well, the ATF has been doing a lot of the A and the T, but not much of the F. And we need to fix that. And then, on the third piece, because none of us have been sleeping over the last 2 years, part of what has happened under the current administration is they took fugitives off the list of prohibited people. I put them back on the list, meaning that fugitives from justice should not be able to purchase a handgun or any kind of weapon.
Justice served. COD.
Looks like you punched your last ticket, amigo.
Sorry, you just tough talk a dead body?
I've got bombs.
Ask him about Slate.
She wants to know about Slate.
Tell us Slate was a dead end.
Slate was a dead end.
Damn it, he killed him.
Where is he?
What you are all about to be part of America is a historic moment of firsts. To administer the oath to our first African American, our first Asian American, and our first woman vice president, Kamala Harris, it is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural stage the first Latina to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America, Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.
He had lots of guts.
Did not know who was fucking with me. What I really hate is a pussy with a gun in his hand.
About the whole no guns thing. I'm not sure I feel as strongly about it as you do.
She always did enjoy a good squeeze.
How did you know?
Donuts don't wear alligator shoes.
Now I find you in exactly the position that suits me. When you have to shoot, don't talk.
Just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible.
Wow. What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
For those of you who know us, who know me, know I really do not like covering political content, politics. I really do my best to stay away from it. But there's a difference between leaning into it and running away from it, and I'm not going to be running away from it. This is crazy. And I'm going to read for you, in case you missed it, I'm going to read for you what Vice President Kamala Harris said. Quote, "Just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible." There are so many layers of problems in that statement, a profound misunderstanding, or perhaps just an outright denial of the Fourth Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Constitution. And it goes so deep that we actually wind up running afoul of another document called the Magna Carta. In this video, we're going to be briefly unpacking that, and we'll be teaching you what you do and how to handle, whether it's future President Harris's agents, ATF and cops, or whoever it is, whatever government agent might be showing up at your door to inspect your guns, to get into your house. We're giving you the quick crash course guide. So guys, let's get into it.
Sweetheart, be reasonable. After all, we're married.
Consider that a divorce.
How do you like how that shit works?
Well, he's certainly left with his tails between his legs.
Keep the faith, Stranix.
See you at the party, Richter.
Let me guess. Wife. Death. Court's adjourned.
Come be the classic.
It, I believe, defies common sense and the Constitution of the United States. I was in Buffalo. I attended one of the funerals. We have seen the massacre of 19 babies and their teachers in Uvalde. We can go on down the list about why it yet again is on the front pages, so to speak, of the concern of the American people about what we can and what we have a responsibility to do in terms of reasonable gun safety laws. And it is for that reason that I believe that the Supreme Court's decision today defies logic in terms of what we know we are capable of doing with reasonable gun safety laws to secure the safety and the well-being of the people of our nation.
Is it dead?
Terminated.
Welcome to hell, Blofeld.
What happened to Baza?
He had to split. Roadkill.
I'm fireproof. You're not.
Antoine got a little hot under the collar.
She is so fired.
What a hothead.
What a burn. That sort of thing could get a man fired. I think he was hot for you.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you have to stand up and tell Kamala that you've had enough. You can't take anymore. You just can't. What? They're all screaming fire. I mean, what a terrible job, what they have done to our country. And you're going to say that to her. You're going to say, you've done a terrible job, you're grossly incompetent, we're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired, get the hell out. Get the hell out of here. You're out of here. Get out of here.
As a future educator, I am really bothered that public schools are being targets for mass shootings. 2 days ago was the 20th anniversary of the Columbine massacre, but still 2 decades later, no major gun control legislation has been passed. So my question is, as president, how will you go about keeping our schools safe and keeping guns out of the hands of those who should not have them?
Thank you, Ben. And I'm sure that there are plenty of students here who, while you were in high school, even middle school, that you had to participate in a drill, right? Where you were convened and your teachers taught you about how you need to go and run in a closet because there may be a mass shooter roaming the hallways of your school. And in our America, that should never have to happen. Conversations take place every night. Conversations take place every night between students and their parents. Why do these things have to happen? Why do we have to have a drill like that? To which, of course, the response is because there are people in Washington, D.C., supposed leaders, who have failed to have the courage to reject a false choice, which suggests you're either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away. Supposed leaders in Washington, D.C., who have failed to have the courage to recognize, you know what, you want to go hunting, that's fine. But we need reasonable gun safety laws in this country, starting with universal background checks and a renewal of the assault weapon ban. But they have failed to have the courage to act. So Ben, here's my response to you. Upon being elected, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to get their act together and have the courage to pass reasonable gun safety laws. And if they fail to do it, then I will take executive action. And specifically what I will do is put in place a requirement that for anyone who sells more than 5 guns a year, they are required to do background checks when they sell those guns. I will require that for any gun dealer that breaks the law, the ATF take their license. And by the way, ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Well, the ATF has been doing a lot of the A and the T, but not much of the F. And we need to fix that.
Well, the primary focus was the ghost guns, or privately made firearms, as they're now calling them, PMFs. Primarily banning the business of manufacturing unserialized buy, build, shoot kits. This is like buying like a Palmer 80, like an 80% frame or something like that, along with all the other parts to build it once you turn that into a firearm. Which currently under the law, as long as you're not a felon, is completely legal.
The United States Department of Justice is making it illegal for a business to manufacture one of these kits without a serial number.
Apparently going forward, these will now be treated like firearms under the Gun Control Act. And to, make and sell them, you've got to have an FFL, a federal firearms license, and be manufacturing them just like you are any other firearm with a serial number and everything, which means the person that you sell it to has to have a background check and a 4473. A 4473 is the form that you have to fill out whenever you buy a gun at a gun store that has all your personal information on it, and they do a mixed background check. And I see this.
But you could just walk into a gun store and buy a gun
without a background check yet. No, you can't. You haven't been able to do that since the 90s. Stop fucking saying that. If you're
what took Marcellus Wallace? What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes. Then you know what I'm saying. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. He's black. Go on. He bald? Does he look like a bitch? What? Does he look like a bitch? Then why you trying to fuck with me? Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You trying to Ezekiel 25:17.
believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons? And whether or not you do, how does that idea not go against fundamentally the Second Amendment?
Yeah. Great question. I do believe that we need to do buyback. To tell you, when elected president, if the United States Congress continues to fail to have the courage to do something about this, I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country. But we still have to deal with the over 2 million assault weapons that are currently in the streets of America. And so a buyback program is a good idea.
Well, folks, we got another blast from the past, you could call it, with Kamala Harris. And I got to tell you, I personally believe that if someone lies during a debate, during a speech, during anything involving their promise to Americans or what their policy is going to be like when they are president, I think that should be a jailable offense. It's not something Americans mess around with. We are voting for you based on what you say, and if we take you at your word, that should be sacred. It shouldn't be, well, I'm a gun owner, so we're not going to touch your guns. And then 5 days later, call for an assault weapons ban. What do you think a ban is? If somebody bans alcohol from their premises, what does that mean? That means that they're taking away your ability to drink or to simply have alcohol on your person. Same thing with banning guns.
Assault weapons are designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly and have no place, I'm going to get to it, and have no place on the streets of a civil society. We need universal background checks, which, to your point about handguns.
Well, the primary focus was the ghost guns, or privately made firearms, as they're now calling them, PMFs, primarily banning the business of manufacturing unserialized buy-build shoot kits. This is like buying a Palmer 80, like an 80% frame or something like that, along with all the other parts to build it once you turn that into a firearm, which currently under the law, as long as you're not a felon, is completely legal.
The United States Department of Justice is making it illegal for a business to manufacture one of these kits without a serial number.
Apparently going forward, these will now be treated like firearms under the Gun Control Act. And to, make and sell them, you've got to have an FFL, a federal firearms license, and be manufacturing them just like you are any other firearm with a serial number and everything, which means the person that you sell it to has to have a background check and a 4473. A 4473 is the form you have to fill out whenever you buy a gun at a gun store, then it has information on it, and they do a next background check. And I see this.
Well, you could just walk into a gun store and buy a gun without a background check yet.
No, you can't. You haven't been able to do that since the 90s. Stop fucking saying that. If you're
is about saying that it is just reasonable to want reasonable gun safety laws that say we should do background checks, that we ought to know. It's just reasonable. You might want to know before someone can buy a lethal weapon. If they've been found by a court to be a danger to themselves or others, you might just want to know.
And respectfully, we do understand that.
But you're asking about...
I'm asking specifically about handguns, because many of those handguns aren't purchased in places.
Yes, apply to handguns.
Yes,
they do.
But in many instances, those handguns aren't even bought lawfully. Yes.
Which is why I also have been very adamant for years. In fact, I myself protested at a gun show probably 10, 15 years ago about the gun show loophole and why we need to close that. Because what ends up happening is that gun shows at flea markets, gun dealers are not, under existing law in the past, required to register their sales. And so you are exactly right.
These efforts to restrict ghost guns is the start of something much bigger.
Starting with ghost guns, then leads to other controls, and that's what I think we don't need. Limiting our guns, limiting our magazine capacities. And the reason I have a problem with it is it's not going to stop anything.
The president also advocating to make it easier for people to flag family members who should not be allowed to purchase firearms. And the White House also promoting investments and what it calls community violence interventions to lower gun violence in cities.
What I do like is the money that are going to the cities to try and stop gun violence. We're all for that.
Some gun shop owners say if you really want to control gun violence, gun control is not the answer.
Maybe we need better education. Maybe we need better jobs and employment. Maybe we need all those things long before we need additional gun control. Your lip service for gun control, I almost feel like we're all being punished for having firearms or wanting to purchase them.
In Southville, Ingrid Heller, Fox 2.
So I'm gonna beat this drum as long as I need to beat it, especially considering how many people I know are actually thinking about voting for Kamala Harris. These folks have no clue what kind of absolute tyrant she really is. And if you need proof, look no further than this video I'm about to show you. Watch this clip and try telling me she's not dead set on stripping away your rights.
It's people who own guns who are quietly sitting on those guns, and those guns might end up being the weapons of the destruction of a community because they get in the hands of some kid who decides that they like what they see on television and they want to act that way. So this is about just basically saying that we're going to require responsible behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
Oh, no, 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 no. You're not walking into my home to check anything, Kamala. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I don't care if I'm sitting in the so-called sanctity of my home or chilling on Mars. You're not gonna roll up unannounced to check on my guns like we're living in some kind of dictatorship. What is this, North Korea? Come on.
That a lot of homicides, for example, a good number of them, I don't have the statistic in front of my mind. Tim Walz is a gun owner, and we're not trying to take anybody's guns away from them.
It's people who own guns who are quietly sitting on those guns, and those guns might end up being the weapons of the destruction of a community because they get in the hands of some kid who decides that they like what they see on television and they want to act that way. So this is about just basically saying that we're going to require responsible behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I've seen you before. You're the asshole on TV, right?
Wrong. I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
But why should?
Because I'm going to say, please.
Drop dead!
I don't do requests.
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Hauser.
Look who's talking. Crime laps with your 4 wins. You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
What you been feeding this thing?
Blondes? Come on. Don't bullshit me. Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Shit! You says bullshit! All of it!
I'm gonna kill that guy!
What? Dominate.
I suppose nothing hurts you.
Only pain.
Hey! Are you gonna pay for that?
Talk to the hand.
Give us the girl or we'll take her.
Enough talk! Into the boat! Into the tunnel! Get to the chopper!
You did not make it, Victor.
Sweetheart. We're married.
Consider that a divorce. Hello, cutie pie. One of us is in deep trouble. I'm pregnant.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Not a tumor at all.
Chill out. Big one.
Stop! Cheering me on!
No problemo.
For sleeping with my wife. You damn me bad.
Grant me revenge. If you do not listen, then the hell with you. The hell with you. The hell with you.
Who the hell are you?
My name is John Kimball. And I love my car.
You shit!
I'm not shitting on you.
Hey, you want to be a farmer?
Here's a couple of acres.
Hold off.
Stick around.
But we do need an assault weapons ban.
Kamala says that she's not going to take our guns, but she's going to ban them. That is the same exact thing, Kamala. I don't know who advises Kamala, but somebody should really tell her that she's not that intelligent, and she's not that slick either. Do you really think Americans are sitting here saying, oh, well, she said it on the debate, so that means she's not going to do it, even though she's calling for assault weapon bans and gun registration, red flag laws, essentially gun confiscation. Kamala, you are probably getting not even 1% of gun owners. voting for you. So why don't you just fuck off on the subject? We all...
And for those of you who don't know, this isn't just some off-the-cuff comment from her. Nah, she's been pushing for stuff like this for a long time. Let me break it down for you. You see, this video was back when Kamala was the San Francisco's district attorney. Kamala Harris helped draft legislation that essentially gave the city the power to walk into a legal gun owner's home to see if they were storing their firearms properly. And you know who signed it into law? None other than Gavin Newsom. Yes, that Gavin Newsom. San Francisco has some of the strictest anti-gun laws in the country, thanks to her. And guess what? All those laws don't seem to be stopping crime now, are they? Now, what really kills me is that she has the nerve to say,
and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
let me ask you something. What part of the Constitution allows this? Spoiler alert, none of it. It's illegal, unconstitutional, and straight up tyranny. This is the kind of Marxist nonsense that Kamala Harris believes in. These are her values. And speaking of Marxist nonsense, you know what else doesn't care about your budget? Criminals. But these anti-gun politicians love to nickel and dime us for everything, acting like securing our schools and neighborhoods comes cheap. Meanwhile, they're pushing laws that make it harder for us law-abiding folks to protect ourselves. Look, asking why we need money for guns is like asking why we need locks on our doors. They want to strip us of our rights while selling us some utopian fantasy that has nothing but smoke and mirrors. And that's why I stand by the statement, need money for pew-pew. It's not just about firearms, it's about preserving our freedom. And if you're wondering why oppressive regimes always go after civilian disarmament first, it's because an armed populace is a threat to tyranny. The cost of liberty has always been high, but it's one we're willing to pay. And by the way, if you agree with me on this, head over to shop.mrcoleonnoir.com and grab yourself a need money for pew-pew or need money for guns shirt, hat, drinkware, or even the premium embroidered hoodie.
Knock, knock.
Say hello to my little friend!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You could ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Or do you, punk?
I'll be back.
The disease, and I'm the cure.
It's time.
How do you like your ribs?
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!
And take your friends with you!
Hey, terrorists! Terrorize this.
What? I got your gun.
Swallow this.
Garbage day! No!
Get off my plane.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Mason. You did.
I lied.
Time to face destiny.
Time to face gravity.
Happy trails, Hans.
Do you like the Elton John song Rocket Man?
I don't like soft ass shit.
Oh, you don't? Well, I only bring it up because, it's you. You're the Rocket Man.
This is from Matilda.
Shit.
You and her are engaged now, huh?
What?
Well, 'cause you just gave me a ring, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
For England, James? No. Take a giant step for mankind.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Clarence, no! Can you fly, you sucker? Can you fly?
You asked me to come say goodbye. Sayonara.
You're fired.
Tomorrow you have to stand up and tell Kamala that you've had enough. You can't take anymore. You just... What? They're all screaming fire. I mean, what a terrible job what they have done to our country. And you're going to say that to her. You're going to say you've done a terrible job, you're grossly incompetent, we're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out. Get the hell out of here. You're out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms, ready to be covered in scars. Cause I will always be a warrior. Late nights, get lost, hard work, the cost. Can't quit, can't stop. This world all cut off. Don't have time to waste, not now. Need to find a way to get out. Cause I'm gone in deep. Get lost in the weeds. You know it's all about the conquest. What's next? You gotta put the work in like you're obsessed. Think about what you want, what's your future? What kind of person would it take to seduce her? So what's next? Be obsessed with winning and your success. Make progress, this life is never promised. So feel blessed, live life, don't be too cautious. Trust the process. In too deep, I'll never quit. I wanna see this through. Yeah, I'm all in, and I will hold my head up high. Got what it takes to fight and survive. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me, you can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't lock me, you can't lock me down. I will not lay down my arms, ready to be covered in scars. Cause I will always be a warrior.